back again with another Our Kind of People video. In this video, I'm breaking down episode 2, My Mother, Myself. Let's get into it. Okay, so the episode opens up on Angie, who is having a moment, who's processing in the mirror, who is pushing back tears, and then she's on. I thought that this was beautiful, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how else they explore this through this season in reference to Black women having to, or sometimes feeling like we have to push down our fears, our sadness, our anger, our emotions that tend to, read as negative, right? Like us having to push those things down so that we can focus on what we might deem in the moment as something that's more important. So for Angie, it's her getting on social media and promoting her products and building her personal brand, building her business brand, and basically just being on. Like, I know this was a very quick moment at the start of the episode, but it caught me immediately just because of how, like, true it is to real life, specifically with Black women entrepreneurs, and especially if you're trying to do something on your own. It gets like this and it's hard, and I still feel like that sometimes. I still feel like there's days where I force myself to be in the office. There's still some days that I have to like push through and act like nothing is wrong with me because I want to get a deal done. I want to get a project complete. I want the client or the brand to just continue to believe that I am absolutely amazing. And sometimes it feels like if we allow ourselves to feel, if we show weakness, if we do any of those things, then that is just a sign that we aren't as amazing as we think we are, or that we are, when that is completely not the case. But we have been conditioned this way by society. That's how the episode opens up, and then we quickly bring in Leah, and then we see the girls getting ready, and it's so interesting to see how they both are getting ready for this gala event. We are focusing on the part of getting ready with their hair. Angie is doing her natural hair and her natural styles, and Leah is making sure that her curls are perfect, that her little press, her little perm is perfect. It has not been said yet if Leah actually has a perm or not, but I think it's so interesting how they actually juxtapose these women in their hair. They did it in the first episode, they're doing it in this episode, and I definitely think that's something that's going to continue. So you kind of get like a little backdoor conversation about natural versus non-natural as we see these two sisters battling for power and presence within the world of Our Kind of People. It's so cool. Only thing I'm going to say, like, I'm going to say this off the bat, y'all. My only criticism about this episode is how they use time. So we get this, and then we see them getting ready for this ball, and then we go to 48 hours before. And that part wasn't the biggest issue for me, but once we actually get to the ball later on, we get moments where we see like Angie gets overwhelmed and emotional when she's trying to confront Teddy, and she runs out to the beach, and she's just overcome with all of these emotions around not being able to confront him, not being able to say anything to him, and how she feels knowing that this is her dad. And then we go right back into the ball as if nothing even happened. There's not a hair out of place, there's not makeup smudge, there's nothing actually wrong with her physical appearance, and I'm just like, wait, wasn't she just crying on the beach? Then on top of that, we get this moment between Raymond and Leah, and it's seeming like the night is over, so now he feels, so compelled to confront her about not actually being at the head of the table at Franklin because her father just busts her bubble and dupes her out of this whole thing that she thought that she was like stepping into command, and she promised him giving back his company, and clearly she's not gonna be able to do that. So he's confronting her, which seems like the end of the night. But then we go back out, and there's plenty of people still on the step and repeat. There's plenty of people still around, and I'm just like, I get that y'all needed to have that happen for the scene that you needed to have happen so that Lauren could be arrested in that way. But for me, the timing, it just, watching it, I was just really kind of thrown off guard, and I was really taken out of the story because I was just like, wait, what? So then I spent moments like questioning, like, did I miss something? Do I gotta rewind? Like, what is actually going on, when I could have just stayed dropped into the story? So that was my biggest like concern of the episode. Everything else I absolutely loved, aside from like how they handled time and what they did with the timing around some of the scenes. I loved everything. So like, let's go ahead and get into the rest of it. Going back to the very beginning of the episode when Angela is on like an IG live or whatever talking to our followers, and she's sharing the story around black people in their hair and how before, like when slavery was getting started, a lot of the colonizers would shave your head so that you couldn't identify who was your family, who was other tribes. You couldn't really figure out who was who. And I love that they're infusing this, because I don't know if I forgot this or just really didn't know it, but I remember as watching it and hearing it, I was just like, oh my God, that's so amazing to know. And I love that they are allowing for this show to be a statement about more than just where we are currently, but like really tying it back to a lot of our roots and providing this educational entertainment in this way, because I definitely think that we do need it. Like, a lot of people struggle with slave narrative media, but there's so many things that we don't know about our culture, about where we come from, about us. And if we can infuse it in these type of ways, I think that it becomes like a happy medium so that people can still learn about where they come from, learn about our roots while also being entertained. Now, child, we go right into our little. I'm gonna assume that this is a Baptist church, but I'm gonna go ahead. I don't know for sure, but they are at church, honey, because they do church on a Sunday in the Bluffs, which I didn't anticipate. But go right on ahead, y'all better do y'all thing. Keep it real. Guest appearance from Pastor John, I think his name is. I don't follow him, so I'm not really sure. If you guys follow him, let me know if I'm correct in the comment section down below. And it's so cute because this is really just a moment for us to get grounded in the day and in the time that we're in, and then to watch just how disturbed Leah is by Angie and her family's presence, because Aunt Piggy is like opening up a snack or something, and it is kind of loud. But Leah turns around all really OD annoyed, obnoxious, and it's just like, girl, it ain't that deep, but you gonna make it seem like it's that deep. But okay, girl, this is what we dealing with. Cool. Angie tries to clear the air and make amends outside of church, and in that moment Leah decides to call Angie a social climber, and I'm like, is that really what she thinks about her? Maybe that's what you think about anybody who doesn't have money when you have money, which is annoying. And that speaks to what I struggle with anyway in reference to watching the classism and elitism play out. But I'm coming around, y'all. We've had quite a bit of discussions on social media. If you're not following me already, follow me at ericavang.com on your favorite social media platform, because this has come up quite a bit in the comment section of my episode 1 breakdown, as well as on social media. Some of y'all are in the DMs and we were talking about it, because some people that struggle with me saying I struggle with seeing the elitism and this black family in particular basically assuming the role of the oppressor. What's the big thing that stands out for me, honestly, y'all? This review is going to kind of be all over the place. I typically try to go through the episode in order or try to stick to specific characters and their storylines, but there's a couple bones I gotta pick. One of which is Aunt Peggy. Why are you lying, sis? You have to know more. It's clear that you know more. Like, with every episode, it's like coming out that you kind of knew this and you kind of knew that. At the start of this episode, she's lying about she didn't know Teddy was her father. She's lying about like she doesn't know anything else, and it's like, but by the end Teddy shows up, you know exactly who he is and you know that he is dangerous. I don't know if she knew about the room per se, but you knew about what was going on. You knew that she gave her up. You knew that she sold Angie for $50,000, and it was for 6 months until she realized like she couldn't live her life without her daughter, and then got her back. You knew that her mom had to pay this woman out of her own wages because you spent the money that she wanted to give back. You knew all of this, but you've been sitting around talking about you know nothing, and then you have the nerve to be emotional and annoyed and sad and all of these things when you're confronted about it. Or before you're confronted about it, at the top of the episode, we're just seeing her look all bewildered, and I'm just like, Aunt Peggy, you was making your way to the top of my list, sis. Like, I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you, because I don't like her lying, and it seemed like she's lying for no reason. Not only do I not like her lying, but it really seems like she's lying for no reason. This seems like all information that if she would have just told it to Angie and framed it, then the narrative would have been fine. But having Angie find out about these things in the way that she's finding out, so she found out that she was sold by co-opting a random assignment that Leah gave to another girl within the Gracities, but the girl couldn't do it, so she stepped in to fill in. She goes to go meet Leah's mom because she delivers these flowers, and then of course Angie gonna do Angie and start asking questions, and that's how it come out. So Piggy, you would rather Leah's senile mom, because I don't know what's going on with sis, but I'm just going to call her senile for right now because she got a lot happening with her and she's in this home. You would rather her senile vindictive mom tell this girl what's her real history from when she was born, versus you, her loving and supporting aunt. How does that make sense? I will wait, sis. Like, it's only episode 2, and again, my shit list has started, and she's making her way up to the top. Lauren is still above her because she's been on my nerves since the very first moment I saw her, and she tried to be all ridiculous to Nikki at that bar. But on Piggy, you keep lying, and we're gonna have words. Aside from that, also what's happening in Angie's world in this episode is she's getting a little bit closer with Tyrique. He is come aboard as a contractor for the boarding house that they're gonna convert into the salon, and he is the one who discovers the extra room, busts down a wall, and there's extra room with a bunch of Angie's mom's old clothes and things and all of that. Their relationship is developing nicely. He becomes her date for the diamond ball, but then they kind of go a little bit awry when she runs out after being overwhelmed with her feelings about trying to confront Teddy. She doesn't feel comfortable telling Tyrique what really happened because she hasn't even told anybody outside of Nikki and Aunt Peggy that Teddy is her actual father. So until that comes out, I guess I can see why she's not going to be honest and straight up with him. However, he does seem like the safest space that she has. So I would lean into that, sis. Now, I'm hoping that things don't go awry with him and he is exactly who he presents himself to be, because it seems like everybody is not who they present themselves to be in Oaks Bluff. But for right now, he's definitely giving solid and he wants answers. And it's interesting because at first I thought on the first episode, I was like, oh, he's just a little playboy. He just wants some ass. And I think he also likes to chase. But in this episode, I really started to feel like, nah, he's really into her. This isn't just a thing that he does. He's not just out here buying Christian Louboutins for girls and like going above and beyond in the ways that he's doing. This is something that is real for him. And then for me, it was just confirmed with how agitated he got when she ran out, and hearing him talk about, you know, losing his father and then listening to her about her father, and then the whole moment of them floating, I was like, okay, this is real for him. He's definitely in. Now on Leah's side, she is prancing around this episode, the start of the episode at least, thinking that she has arrived, she has made it, she has bested her daddy, she got her Forbes cover, and then he pops up. What are you doing here? Oh, I just came here to give a couple sound bites and to support you. They asked me to be here for that. Don't worry about it. It's all good. And you know, you got to understand, this isn't just about money. This is about power. You got to know the importance of power, and some other little cryptic, you know, Papa Pope-esque type of things coming from Teddy Franklin, all to find out that later on, y'all, later on, he co-ops this cover. And that's another thing. All right. So also with timing, I'm sorry, I gotta say this, y'all, because it's just, I worked in magazines for quite a bit, so the timing, like, this is all within 48 hours. One, a magazine cover is not shot and edited and published and released in 48 hours. It just doesn't happen that way. So I was also looking at that when I saw that, because he co-ops this cover and it winds up being them on the cover. It's not a solo cover announcing her ascension into the role of chairman of Franklin Enterprises. It is just a celebration of, I guess, the amount of time that she's put in or whatever, but he is not stepping down as chairman. And there's egg all over Leah's face when he announces this on stage at the Diamond Ball. Child, a hot mess. But that was also another thing in reference to time that really bothered me. Actually, it was egg on everybody's faces, because Raymond is sitting in the crowd looking all bewildered. Leah is standing on stage looking bewildered. And of course, Angie is bewildered because this is the first time she's actually put eyes on Teddy in her adult life in person. And as I mentioned a few times already in this video, she tries to go up and confront him, but is unable to, and is overcome and overwhelmed before she's able to do so. I think it was interesting watching both girls, Leah and Angie that is, process their emotional turmoil. Angie definitely had a lot more in this episode. So Angie is struggling with seeing her father who abandoned her, but then seeing him in the light of loving on this other daughter that he embraces fully. She's struggling with learning about her mom taking $50,000 in exchange for her when she was younger. She is learning that her aunt knew it and didn't even tell her and lied about it. Like, she's struggling with all of these parental familial emotions around decisions that these other people have made. And then Leah is struggling with kind of, I guess, the grief of the loss of this opportunity in which she thought that she had and nailed in the bag, but then also the straining that's now going to put on her relationship. And then also early in the episode, we see her confront the idea of Lauren being gay and completely mishandling and misspeaking within the moment. So again, it was just interesting to me to watch these two women and their emotional up and downs in this episode and exactly how they processed it. Now, one thing that really stuck out very weird, Raymond's partner in Dharma is this, I guess, fine white man. Okay, cool. He alright looking. Alright, cool. Why did he kiss Leah? Did anybody see that coming? Or was that just me? It seemed like the most random thing in the world. We like, sir, who are you even? What is actually happening here? And honestly, I don't really have nothing else to say about it other than what? We're just gonna have to keep watching. It didn't seem like Leah was actually into it, so they haven't been having an affair. But sir, don't you ever put your lips on me. By the end of the episode, it seems like everybody is refocusing. The girls have come together to spread Mama Eve's ashes finally and allow her to lay to rest. That was a conflict in the episode. And then we also get to see Leah and Teddy talk, and he admits to her recalling the memory of seeing him go and visit a woman and watching this little girl cry in the rain. He tells her, Angie is your sister and she's gonna be a problem unless we figure out how to fix it. So let's talk about it. And I'm just like, wait, you copping to it? What is actually going on? What I am not here for is Leah and Teddy Franklin going against Angela Vaughn. I tell you that's not what I'm here for. We finna call in the rest of the Avengers and vanquish y'all because y'all giving very much so evil. Evil to the point, like I mentioned, you show up in the dang on boarding house and our Peggy gotta pull a gun on you. What is actually happening here? That's what lets me know that he is actually a very, very dangerous man. Aside from all of what we have heard that he's done and Leah's so appalled and disgusted and blah, 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 that reaction from Aunt Peggy was all I needed to know in reference to who this man is and how he should be handled. But y'all, that is my full breakdown of Our Kind of People episode 2. Let me know what you thought I missed in the comment section down below. Let me know what you liked about the episode in the comment section down below. Who's your favorite character as of yet? Tell me that in the comment section down below. Hit the subscribe button and join the tribe. If you haven't already, turn your bell notifications on so that you do not miss when I post any of my Our Kind of People videos, and I will be posting a few. Check out the playlist for Our Kind of People right here, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye.